Hello, thank you so much for coming along to this video. My name is Paul Murphy, very pleased to meet you. And this is called Blood That's Been Spilt by You. All the people you've had playing your game swear the history starts the day that you came. Lived in silence, their life cannot be free, taken down through your notoriety. And my voice is all I've got to give, and my words are all that I can share. I don't know if they will be enough, but they tell you that at least I cared. All the people you've had chanting your name will look for you when their brothers are slain. Your eyes are hollow, but tell of the guilt that you carry of the blood that's been spilt. Down the well before the river ran dry, you altered nothing, you just said goodbye. And in the glen you sat amongst the bones with those who died while you were safe at home. All the people you've had chanting your name will look for you when their brothers are slain. Your eyes are hollow, but tell of the guilt that you carry of the blood that's been spilt. And I wrote that on the 10th of January 1993 at 12:54 a.m. So that means 0054 a.m. In those days I used to write down the minute and the front room. So down here. Dylan, just a matter of interest, Dylan, I don't know if there's any interest to you, but your granddaddy's birthday was the 10th of January. What year, I have no idea. Okay, oh, and Emily, of course. So sorry. Oh, God, I'm mortified. The reason being, I cut you out, I just must say, my darling daughter there, as I just moved a picture that my daughter gave to me behind me, and as I was looking at the viewfinder, I realised that I've covered up my son's, I pushed it too far, covered up my son's beautiful face. Okay, the next one does not have a title, and indeed it's just one verse. So I need to come up with a title so I can copyright it. Well, I guess Remember How It Used to Be is an appropriate title. So 2, 3, 4. Remember how it used to be. Thought I'd call you up again, just to hear you talk. Remember how it used to be, before we took the walk. I knew you'd say the years ain't been so good to you, but that don't make them any harder from my point of view. Who knows why that didn't get finished. Oh, man. So, I'm so sorry I'm catching up myself because I'm just going through my little booklet here, my long lost lyric booklets that have just been found in the last 2 weeks. And I've got about 20 hours of, no, not 20, about 15 hours of recordings of them. Admittedly, I do go off point sometimes as I start skiing down a different slope. But anyway, When Love Is Lost. Some of these actually made it out into my stage act, live act, and this was one of them. But I'm baffled by the 1993. So many things when you actually see the dates, and you think, well, I'd always thought that was a bit later than that, you know? Well, it's always later than you think and always earlier than you want it to be. When Love Is Lost. Alison, there's so much to say before the moment slips away. Have we really come this far, just to bear each other's scars? Alison, if you'll wait a while, I know I can find your smile. Before we let too much slip by, can't we ask each other why? Alison, if we cross the line, we'll lose more than we can define, and I can't consign to history all the things you've meant to me. Alison, is the end so near? Is tomorrow what we fear? Are we prepared to pay the cost of going on when love is lost? And I wrote that at 18:09 p.m. on the 2nd of February 1993 in the front room. The finished version of that actually has a chorus, so that's the original handle. The lyrics are pretty much as they always ever stay to. When love is lost, when love is lost, you pay the price, you bear the cost. When love is lost. That was how the chorus went. So I never knew that I wrote that all the way back then. So that was 1993. And then in 1999, Alison R. Shall I name you? Well, 93, 03, 13, 23. So that's 30 years ago. You're probably dead now, in fact. So her name was Alison Rolick. And we worked together. I guess we were kind of close. I wrote a lot of songs about her. The ending should never erase the beginning, folks, you know. Never forget that Bob Dylan wrote Idiot Wind, but he also wrote Love Minus Zero. Goodness me, there's a little mosquito flying past here. Well, I hope it's a mosquito. It could have been a drone, I suppose, you know. And in the 90s, I suffered badly from bulimia nervosa. Badly, I mean, can you suffer goodly from bulimia nervosa? Bulimia nervosa is like pregnancy, you know. There's no such thing as a little bit. And I guess it was stress related, I know not. But one of the things about if you don't drink and you don't smoke and you don't take substances, I was trying to think about the harmful things people do to each other, then you absorb a lot of stress. Because I used to go out and play live on stage, and that and it's only recently that occurred to me when I've been going back through these song files. I suffer from bulimia nervosa on and off, although I didn't know what it was then. I'd need to go back to the Jackie Brown days. So Jackie Brown, you could tell me, was it about 1989? Goodness, poor Jackie Brown. I was going out with her. I didn't know what it was until she... And Chris Woods. I thought I was just keeping my weight down and looking good, you know. I didn't realise that I was down to 50 kilos at one point, and there's that thin, you know, in my little finger, you know. And Jackie knew what I was doing, you know, but it was just I just thought it was a way to eat a lot of nice things like chocolate and cherry cakes. Was my downfall. And then when you couldn't eat any more, you could easily find a way to eat more. I didn't realise then, you know, one was addicted on the buzz or whatever it was, you know. I still don't know too much about it because I never had any help with that. I had to go. I always chuckle, I went cold turkey on bulimia nervosa. Being a vegetarian, it was easy to go, I don't want any cold turkey. That's the first thing about Jackie Brown and how she suffered as I was suffering, you know, caught in the vortex. I remember here one night, I don't know how to help you. Yeah, I'm fine. But it only occurred to me recently when I've been going back through these, and the lyrics are made up, Shadows Behind Soft Words of Love, that whenever I wasn't doing a lot of stage work, then, well, I guess the devil finds work for idle fridges, I don't know. There's a Red Cross coming with a food parcel for me. And then when I would go back out and start performing again, so I guess that was my stress alleviation. Anyway, around 1999, I was suffering really bad from it. Got into a bad relationship. One of those relationships where you go into it purely because you think it's been too long since I've been in a relationship. And so you walk through a door with a red light flashing, you know, and the warning siren going off, and you think, yeah, you know, but it's either walk into this burning building or stay out there on my own in the rain. And one bore the consequences of it, and that drove back down there, and I was really shape. And I was off work for that. I was working then at a nasty, vile company. You'll find out why in a minute. And where they really did not like Irish people. And if you had brown skin, which I had, or brownish, or olive skin, you know, one of my grandparents was Romany Irish. And I'm very yellow at the moment from the motor neuron disease and my liver's breaking. So, all the colours of the rainbow. And I've been off work. I've been working at this place for a while by then, I guess. Detailed in other videos and just milking it for the easy money, you know. It's pretty hard, you know, if you earn a lot of money for doing the barest minimum of work. It's hard not to sit on your principles and say, hush, hush little principles, because I shall buy you nice things at the weekend. You don't realise that you're buying those nice things with your soul, not with your wallet. And I went back to work, and I've been off work for 12 days. And no one would, 12 weeks, and no one wanted to speak to me. I thought, what the... Oh, this is a lovely friendly welcome, like, you know. They were all taking books on me dying and sort of planning on my dying. They'd got someone in to replace me and everything. And I kind of fooled them and disappointed them in equal measure by pulling through, and I went back to work. And I was getting nothing there, so I went up to the office block where Alison worked. And I said, hey, you know, hi, it's me, I'm back, good to be back. Making jokes of it, like, you know, you can't kill a dream, or something like that, grandiose, I said. And in a room full of people, she turned around, and a voice as cold as the devil's arse, she said, why don't you lie down on the railroad tracks and do it properly? You know, because bulimia is a very slow way of killing yourself, as you know, as you room for. I said, well, that's somewhat unkind, I said. And I walked out and I never went back. Lovely lady, huh? There's that mosquito back again. Hey, do I come and fly around you when you were trying to talk to your friends? So, but I wrote some nice songs about her, and but there's an anecdote to counterbalance it, huh? One of the most annoying things about that anecdote that came to mind as I was saying it, I don't know whether to put glasses on or ended up, as one of my songs I did with Andy Young's Indecision. I hope I find that lyric. I haven't seen that lyric. I've only found 2 Murphy Young song lyrics so far, and because they were kept in a separate file. This was a duo I went in. Another guy called, I think, working at Andy Young's. But, and the only 3 lyrics now, the only 3 lyrics from our time together that I found, the 3 songs that were mine that I presented. I mean, all the songs were mine, but 3 songs that we didn't do together and so came back, that were solo mine before I met Andy. But Indecision, I've forgotten all about that one. Again, 30 years. Indecision's killing me. He loved that song, and I later found out why, because he was living it, you know. I was writing what he was living, and boy could he sing while I was writing. So, right, well, yeah, I was saying, and I had to walk past a lady who cared for me so much, Judy Bailey. That's not your name anymore because you've changed your name now, isn't it? So, Judith Helen Bailey. I could never repay you for your kindness, and I'm truly sorry that it fell apart how it did and when it did. But I was just on a different curve at that time. But you were the one that decided to go off and, you know, pull down the shutters instead of just, you know, coming back 24 hours later. You know, it's no good sitting there thinking that, oh man, he's going to call me or whatever, you know. I mean, you know what my brain was like, you know, I was doing concerts and stuff and writing stuff, you know, until I just returned to the stage. Thanks to this lady kicking me up the backside and saying, get out there, you're Paul Murphy, get out there and do this. remember her saying once, that must have been the February, I guess, and I was like, I'm going to sneeze, I'm so sorry about this, I'm trying not to. Oh, God. And it ran, if you touch your top lip you can't sneeze. If you glue a hedgehog to it. I wonder how many people will start doing that if I put it out on the internet. Did you know, people of the internet, if you glue a hedgehog to your top lip, you won't go bald? Don't do it. Hedgehogs are nice creatures. And she said, oh, you've achieved. In that month alone, I'd done, I think, 2 television shows. I had a new album out, which is probably the Maybe Tomorrow Next Year album, I guess. And I had my 2nd book out. Now I can see your point of view, but I was like, yeah, so what? You know, oh, you've achieved, and I had to, come on, fly off over there. Am I that enthralling? Really? I'm very big with mosquitoes. A lot of fans, lots of mosquito fans I have. A lot of vultures as well. And they're all sitting on the roof at the moment. He's going, he's getting a bit paler, lads. Not long now. Well, there's not only vultures on the roof. There's vultures. There's vultures in Chad and there's vultures in America. They know who I mean. So I had to walk past this wonderful lady who cared for me so much. Called Judith Ann Bailey, who's never got the credit she deserves. If you look in the back of my books, Judy, you won't mention in there, but in real life, you never got the credit you deserved. Although it was your decision when we bumped into each other a year later. And I said, well, let's just go into town. And you said, well, I'm not talking into town anymore. Those days are over. You know, so we could have gone for a coffee then, you know. And I would have told you there and then. But anyway. The moral of that little parable is, you know, it's like a biblical parable. And lo, the destitute urchin, and he did walk past the woman that loveth him to an old harridan who saith, go lay down on the railway lines and kill thyself. So maybe take stop at the first smile that you come across. But never walk past an oasis, folks. Right, where are we to here now? Well, again, so I now know that this is the opening. This is when I wrote Maybe Later. I have a very long song called Maybe Later. You won't know it from here because this is all there is in the book of it. But take it from me, in one of my song books, there is a very long song, and a very good song, though it's a strong lyric, called Maybe Later. So, maybe later. Maybe later you'll catch the prize. Hold your hands and close your eyes. Maybe later. Is that for you? I'll be a text message from Alison saying, "How you say that about me? I'm not dead yet. 93, got all my own toes." So, take 2. Maybe later. Maybe later you'll catch the prize. Hold your hands and close your eyes. Maybe later, when time is short, you'll bide the judge outside the court. Maybe later. You can see why it's a long song, because it's sung very fast. You know, you need a lot of words just to get a 2-minute song out of it. And what is this one called? Oh, Chelsea Girl. Again, it's interesting. And as I read them, it's interesting sometimes, the ones that I know, to see how I change the lyrics. Anyway, so this is the original lyric to Chelsea Girl. Nothing to do with Nico, I might just add. Chelsea Girl. It's midnight on the knife edge. Someone feels a painting coming on. The DA says he'll drop the charges. The hobo says he'll tag along. It's quiet on the freeway. Everybody got nowhere to be. They all want to get their day in court, try and join society. Party, politics and sin. Who owns who's the question of the day. Who's got you to their apartment? And who was that who ran away? Oh, Chelsea girl, you don't belong in this world. You should be somewhere else where the people treat you like a queen. Oh, Chelsea girl, I've been everywhere around this world, and to this day you're the only angel I've ever seen. Deals done on the waterfront, always there or just coming away. Heartbeats handcuffed to the moment. You're left at home to run away. Oh, Chelsea girl, you don't belong in this world. You should be somewhere else where the people treat you like a queen. Oh, Chelsea girl, I've been everywhere around this world, and to this day you're the only angel that I've ever seen. And that was written on the 4th of June 1993 at 20:47 and 13 seconds p.m. So far. That's a big jump from the last one there. So where the interim ones are, I don't know. That was a parable, that one. That was about someone that I knew. So, so when someone feels a painting coming on, that's a reference to Guernica. Well, let's not go too deep into it. It will mean what it means to you, and it means what it means to me. Okay, this is going to be called Dancing by a Wall of Fire. Pardon me just a second. Best ever episode of Be Cool Scooby-Doo. And I want to record it for my daughter. We love Be Cool Scooby-Doo. The Professor Her episodes, look them up online. They are so silly. I love them. Right, we're nearly finished here now. Let's, oh, is that the last one? Wow. So, Dancing by a Wall of Fire. Who do you save when the chips are down, when you're cuffed to the wall in the wrong part of town, when you're doing a dance by a wall of fire and chasing a painting to the song of desire? And that was it. I'm assuming that was probably written the same day as Chelsea Girl, since they've both got the word painting in there. And that is it. Okay, so there's probably 30 pages unused out of the 200, and that's well, not in this video, but I'm no fun. So that's two done. That's two of these pads done from these long lost lyrics. I'm so weak these days I can barely hold a 200-page loose leaf folder. Thank you for your time, folks. As they've gone on, if you're watching these, I don't know where you'll get to watch them, but I hope you're nice and warm, comfortable and safe where you are. The between-song rambles and offshoots of conversation have got a little bit longer, probably just a little bit more erratic, but those backstories are the histories to the songs, you know, so so many of you like my songs, and I'm very grateful to you for that. You know, hopefully some of you will be interested in backstories to them, etc. Okay, I've been Paul Murphy, and please join me again for the next one, later in 1993, I guess. Peace and love, people.